If you think starting with zero money in 2026 means you are already too late, you are wrong. And that belief is exactly what keeps most people broke. I'm about to show you the exact mathematical path to build real wealth from absolutely nothing. And it has nothing to do with finding the next hot stock or starting a business. This is pure math, real data, and a system that actually works. So make sure to stay until the end, leave a like, and let's start. Here is what nobody tells you about starting from zero. Your biggest problem is not that you do not have money. Your biggest problem is that you probably have negative money and you do not even realize it is killing you. Let me explain what I mean. Most financial advice starts with what to invest in. That is backwards. Before you can build anything, you need to stop the bleeding. And right now, if you have any kind of consumer debt, credit cards, personal loans, car loans with high interest, you are not at zero. You are underwater. And trying to invest while you are drowning in debt is like trying to fill a pool that has a massive hole in the bottom. Here is the math that changes everything. Let's say you have $5,000 in credit card debt at 24% interest. That is pretty standard in 2026. If you only make minimum payments, you will pay back almost $10,000 over time. That is $5,000 you just threw away. Now, everyone will tell you that you can beat that by investing in stocks. The stock market averages about 10% per year over the long term. Sounds good, right? Wrong, because that 10% is not guaranteed. Some years the market goes up 20%, other years it drops 30%. But that 24% interest on your credit card, that is guaranteed. Every single month, like clockwork, that debt is compounding against you. Paying off a 24% credit card debt is the same as getting a guaranteed 24% return on your money. Show me a single investment that guarantees 24% with zero risk. You cannot. It does not exist. So phase one is not exciting. It is not sexy. But it is absolutely critical. You have to kill your high interest debt first. Not some of it. All of it. And I'm not talking about your mortgage or student loans at 4%. I'm talking about anything above 10% interest. Credit cards, personal loans, payday loans. That stuff has to die before you invest a single dollar. Here is how you do it. List every debt you have from highest interest rate to lowest. Ignore the balance completely. You might have a $2,000 debt at 26% and a $10,000 debt at 18%. Most people attack the smaller balance because it feels good to pay something off. That is a mistake. You attack the 26% debt first because math does not care about your feelings. This is called the avalanche method. You pay the minimum on everything except the highest interest debt. Then you throw every extra dollar you can find at that highest rate debt. Sell stuff you do not use. Cancel subscriptions you forgot about. Pick up extra shifts. Treat this like an emergency because it is. Every month you wait, you are literally paying money to stay poor. Now here is the part that people hate. Once you pay off that first debt, you do not celebrate by buying something nice for yourself. You take that entire monthly payment you were making and you roll it into the next highest interest debt. This creates a snowball effect. Your payments get bigger and bigger as you knock out each debt. I know what you are thinking. This sounds boring and it will take forever. You are right about the first part. It is boring. But here's the thing. According to data from the Federal Reserve, the average American has about $6,000 in credit card debt. At 24% interest, if you can throw just $500 a month at it, you will be debt-free in about 14 months. Just over a year. That is not forever. That is faster than most people spend deciding what car to buy. But let's talk about why this matters beyond just the math. Debt does not just cost you money, it costs you freedom. When you owe people money, you make scared decisions. You stay in jobs you hate because you cannot risk losing the income. You do not ask for raises because you are afraid they will fire you. You do not move cities for better opportunities. You play life on defense instead of offense. Clearing debt is not just about the interest rate, it is about unlocking your ability to take smart risks later. Okay, so you have killed your high interest debt. Now you can start investing, right? Wrong again. This is where 90% of people screw up and blow their entire plan. You need a buffer. I call it the boring money, and without it, you are going to fail. Here is why. Life does not stop just because you started investing. Your car will break down, you will need a root canal, your laptop will die if all your money is tied up in stocks, and the market happens to be down 20%. When your emergency happens, you have two terrible choices. Either you sell your stocks at a loss to pay for the emergency, which locks in that loss forever, or you go into debt to cover it, which puts you right back where you started. According to a study by Bankrate, 56% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency with savings. That means more than half the country is one broken transmission away from financial disaster. Do not be that person. Here is what you need. 3 to 6 months of basic expenses in cash. Not invested, not in crypto, not in anything. Just boring cash sitting in a high-yield savings account. In 2026, you can get about 4 to 5% interest in these accounts. It is not exciting, but it serves a purpose. And if you want to reach that sooner, you can just open your YouTube channel, even from zero, because YouTube is the golden opportunity of this decade. And you can do it with my help in my community in the link below. Let me show you the math on why this matters. 2 people start investing at the same time with the same amount of money. Alex puts everything into stocks. Veronica keeps $10,000 in a cash emergency fund and invests the rest. The market drops 25%. Then both people lose their jobs. Alex has to sell their stocks at the bottom to pay rent and buy food. They lock in a 25% loss and their portfolio is destroyed. Veronica uses their cash buffer, leaves their stocks alone, and waits for the recovery. When the market bounces back, and it always does, Veronica's portfolio recovers fully. Alex is broke. The emergency fund is not about making money. It is about not losing money. It is about giving yourself the ability to be patient when everyone else is panicking. Calculate your bare minimum monthly expenses. Rent, food, utilities, basic transportation. Multiply that number by 3 at minimum, 6 if you want to sleep really well at night. Put that money in a high-yield savings account. Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Ali Bank. These are solid options in 2026. Automate a transfer every time you get paid until this fund is full. And here is the key. Once it is full, you pretend it does not exist. It is not for vacations. It is not for a new phone. It is only for actual emergencies. Job loss, medical issues, true disasters. This money is your insurance policy against life punching you in the face. Now we get to the fun part. You are debt-free. You have your emergency fund. You finally get to start investing. And this is where everyone makes the same mistake. They try to get fancy. You have maybe $500 a month to invest now. Conventional advice says to diversify. Buy some stocks, some crypto, some real estate crowdfunding, maybe some gold. This is wrong. When your portfolio is small, diversification does not protect you. It guarantees you will stay mediocre forever. Here is what the data shows. According to Aspiva scorecards, which track how professional fund managers perform, over 90% of active managers fail to beat the S&P 500 over a 15-year period. Let that sink in. These are people with teams of analysts, Bloomberg terminals, millions of dollars in research budgets. And 90% of them cannot beat the basic market index. If professionals cannot pick winning stocks, what makes you think you can do it from your phone while sitting on the toilet? The answer is you cannot. And trying will cost you a fortune. The winning strategy is almost offensive in how simple it is. You buy the entire market, total stock market index funds, VTI, VTSAX. These are the ticker symbols. You are literally buying a tiny piece of every publicly traded company in America. When you buy the index, you get the average return, and the average return of the stock market over the last 100 years is about 10% per year before inflation. That might sound boring compared to people bragging about their crypto gains or the hot tech stock they found. But here is the reality. Over 30 years, 10% annual returns turn $100,000 into over $1.7 million. That is math. That is not speculation. But it gets better. You do not have to pick the winners. You automatically own them. When the next Apple or Amazon shows up, you already own it because it is in the index. And when companies fail, they automatically get removed from the index. You do not have to do anything. The psychological trap here is that index investing is boring. It provides zero dopamine. You buy the fund and nothing happens. No exciting news, no rockets, no Lambos. Your brain hates this because we are wired to crave action. This is why people day trade and lose money. They are paying for entertainment, not investing. If you are starting in 2026, you need to accept that good investing should feel like watching paint dry. If it is exciting, you are probably gambling. Here is my exact strategy. 90% of your investment money goes into low-cost, broad market index funds. This is your core. It is automated. You never touch it. The remaining 10% and only 10% you can use to scratch the itch. Want to buy a specific stock you believe in? Fine. Use the 10%. Want to gamble on crypto? Use the 10%. If it goes to zero, your financial life is fine. If it moons, great. This keeps you from doing something stupid with your real money. But where you put this money matters just as much as what you buy. You can pick the perfect investments and still lose 30% of your wealth to taxes if you are not careful. Most people open an app, link their bank and start buying stocks. That usually lands you in a regular brokerage account. These accounts are flexible. You can take money out anytime, but you also get taxed on every single gain. Every time you sell for a profit, capital gains tax. Every dividend you receive, income tax. Over 30 years, this tax drag will cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. The government gives us specific accounts that protect you from taxes, and ignoring them is expensive. Let me show you the math. You invest $10,000 today. It grows to $100,000 over 30 years. In a regular brokerage account, when you sell, you pay capital gains tax on that $90,000 gain. At 20%, that is $18,000 to the IRS. In a Roth IRA, if you follow the rules, that withdrawal is completely tax-free. You keep the full $100,000. That $18,000 difference is not because you picked better stocks. It is purely because you chose the right account. And if your employer offers a 401k match, that is free money. If they match 50% of your contributions up to 6% of your median salary, that is an immediate 50% return. You cannot find that anywhere in the market. Here is the exact order you need to follow. Step 1. Contribute to your 401k up to the employer match. This is literally free money. Do not leave it on the table. Step 2. Max out a Roth IRA. In 2026, the contribution limit is $7,000 per year if you are under 50. This grows tax-free forever. Step 3. If you have a high deductible health insurance plan, max out a health savings account. It is triple tax advantaged. You get a deduction when you put money in, it grows tax-free, and you can withdraw it tax-free for medical expenses. Step 4. Go back and max out your 401k. The 2026 limit is $23,500. Only after all these buckets are full should you put money in a regular brokerage account. This order of operations creates a tax shield that can save you literally hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. But here is the truth that nobody wants to hear. You can optimize your savings and taxes all day long, but there is a limit to how much you can cut expenses. There is no limit to how much you can earn. If you really want to speed this up, you need to increase your income. The latte factor is a myth. You are not going to budget your way to wealth on a $40,000 salary by skipping coffee. The math does not work. If you save every single dollar you spend on coffee for a year, you might save $1,000. That is great. But if you learn a new skill that gets you a $10,000 raise, you just 10 times that result. Here is what the data shows. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median salary for someone with specialized skills in data analysis is about $75,000. For general office work, it is about $42,000. That is a $33,000 difference per year. And that difference compounds because your future raises are based on your current salary. Instead of driving for a rideshare app, making $20 an hour, invest that time into learning a high-value skill. Take a free online course in Excel or Python or digital marketing. In 6 months, use that skill to get a promotion or a new job. A 20% raise on a $50,000 salary is $10,000 per year. Every year for the rest of your career. That beats any side hustle. So if I woke up tomorrow with $0 in 2026, here is exactly what I would do. Step 1. List every high-interest debt and attack it using the avalanche method. Step 2. Build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund in a high-yield savings account. Step 3, contribute to my 401k up to the employer match. Then max out a Roth IRA, then an HSA if eligible. Step 4, invest 90% of my money in low-cost index funds and keep 10% for individual picks. Step 5, spend 1 hour every single day learning a skill that can increase my income. This is not exciting. It is not going to make you rich by next week, but it is the mathematical certainty of building real wealth. And if you actually follow it, in 10 years you will be in a completely different financial universe than you are today. The only question is whether you will actually do it. Oh, anyway, I opened a new completely free community where I explain how to create and scale your YouTube channel. After an experience with over 10 successful channels, there I will give you all my strategies and tips to monetize and scale your faceless YouTube channel, and I will help you step by step. Since YouTube is the golden opportunity of 2026 if done well, I'm waiting for you. Just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes only, and any results depend on your own decisions and actions.